Hello guys and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. If you've not played this game before, it is a real-time strategy game based around the era of World War II. So you'll play as one of many different factions, ranging from Germany, Italy, United Kingdom, France, and it basically sets itself just before, in the run-up to World War II, during World War II, and then a little bit after. And the idea is see if you can impact on the world stage and maybe change the outcome, how the World War more or less ended. In this game, conflict always breaks out. There's a little bit of time beforehand, so you can play the game from 1936, so on the lead up to it, and then by usually 1940 there is actually a world war. So there's no way, I don't think, of stopping it from happening. It just actually gets to that point, and you either get dragged into it or you can more or less stay neutral to a degree. Now, this came out last year. And it's a game that's not for everyone's taste. It's very much quite a complex game, and it's made by Paradox. It's one of Paradox's development studios, which is really good. I mean, they've been coming out some really good games over the course of the last few years. And I mean, there's Crusader Kings, there's obviously Hearts of Iron, there's Magicka, and there's a few others as well. City Skylines, which have just been phenomenal. And these kind of games I do love. I do like my strategy games, and they also did Stellaris too. So we're going to jump in and we're going to try. I've been playing through Germany on the the German Reich, but I'm going to try and see if we can switch this up a little bit. So in this game, these are the main factions you can play as. So you can play as France, United States, United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, Japan, Soviet Union, or Poland. Poland, I think it was part of one of the DLCs that they implemented, and these they have their own unique trees. At the moment, there is some DLC for the game which I don't have. Which adds some bits and pieces, adds some more national focuses, which hopefully I'll explain in some due course. But we're going to get in, and I'm going to try as... I'm going to go as Italy. Now, Italy, you can play in the... you can play as them in the tutorial. They're one of the tutorial nations you start out with. I think it's not one of the easiest to play, but they're one of the ones that you think you can get more familiar with. Some of these, obviously... countries are very much more difficult than others to play. Apparently playing like more of the democratic nations is a lot harder than actually playing some of the fascist or communist states, simply because of the fact that you can declare war a lot easier. But we're going to get in, we're going to play as Benito Mussolini. Obviously his ideology is fascist, his government is totalitarian regime, so there's never any elections, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. So hopefully the music's not too loud in the game. I might just have to turn down the music a little bit. But this is the world map, so this is how it starts out. So you can start out as, again, scenario, you can do 1939, which changes the whole look of it. So if we go here, you can see the German Reich's obviously a lot bigger. This is just before the outbreak of World War, so Blitzkrieg. But we're obviously going to go back to this one. We're going to start from here in the build-up, and hopefully... So Italy's got quite a lot of stuff, and I mean, back in 1930s, 1940s, the world was a lot different. There were a lot less countries. I mean, the United Kingdom, for instance, had a lot of, as you can see here, a lot of territory still under their domain. France did as well. Belgium. I mean, a lot of the European countries had domain over a large portion of the world. And as time progressed after World War II, these... colonies and colonial era basically states got their independence, and it is the world we know today. But what would happen if the World War didn't pan out as way it should have done? I think that's always an interesting scenario, so we're going to find that out. So I'm going to play as Iron Man mode, which means there's no saves, so you can't go back if you mess up. Also, I'm going to play as historical AI focuses, because that's what I love to do. So the idea is AIs will pick a certain trait that'll go on with that line. So as things happen in historical accuracy, that's how it'll pan out. The only difference is that I'll be able to pick my own. So the AI will focus on a certain thing. So Germany will do all their focuses. They'll take Austria, Czechoslovakia. They'll go partition Poland up, and then they'll go for war with France. So all those kind of what we know in fact happened in World War II will happen. It's just whatever I do which may influence it slightly differently. So let's get in. Obviously, we're going to have to set up a save. So let's jump in. Now, I'll try and explain much of the game as possible as I can. I'm not brilliant at this game. I'm not going to say I'm absolutely a genius at it. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I would consider myself more amateur playing this. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't know what's the best strategy to play as. You know, it's quite a difficult one. But one thing I do know straight to begin with, we're already at war. So I think Italy is the only country that starts at war right from the get-go. So it's one thing just to keep in mind here that we're at war right to begin with. Now, Ethiopia is quite an easy country to deal with, but we'll sort that out first. But what I need to do to begin with is have a look at research. Now, I don't want to do this. I always try and get some of these, and these are all the research trees. There's a lot of different tabs you can get, and the idea is you want to try and it's all military focused. You can focus on some parts of like your industry, but it's all towards military. It's all about war, this game. You will always get blown into conflict at some point or another, either by someone declaring war on you. If you can try to stay neutral as most you can, but the idea is that you conquer the world, or try and at least conquer the majority of it. Now I'm going to start on support weapons, which gives me some bonuses on breakthrough and defense for all these units, which is good. So I'm going to just get that to begin with. I'm also going to go for some industrial, so I'm going to have basic machinery tools, which is usually a good one to go for. And I'm trying to think what I want to do in terms of how do I want to portray myself. Do I want to be infantry focused? Do I want to be navy focused? Or do I want to be air focused? And there's obviously those three main trees. So I think I'm going to consider the strategic position I'm in for a navy. I think I'm going to go naval focus. Now, I will have a hard time with the United Kingdom and the United States down the line if I do go to war with them, simply because of the fact of the United Kingdom Navy is absolutely astronomical massive. It is ridiculously big. So it's one thing to keep in mind. But I'm going to go for construction, and then I'm going to focus on... So this is the Navy tree. So what we got? So we haven't got much research. We've got a couple of destroyers. The ones that are in blue have been researched. The ones in yellow we haven't researched, and the ones in grey you can't yet anyway. So we've got a couple of battleships. We haven't got any carriers. We can get level 2 in submarines. Obviously destroyers. I think what I'm going to do to begin with... what do we want? I'm going to go for the submarine destroyer. I'm going to go for the submarine. The submarine's a good one to have. The Perla class. It's a 1930 ship, so we're going to research that. And then we're going to focus on our navy. Alright, cool. I'm going to have to sort on resources, but let's see where we are. So, 3 civilian factories. Now, civilian factories, there's 2 kinds. There's military and the civilian. Civilian is more or less... let's have a look what it says in here. This building provides the state with the industry for production of civilian goods or construction of new buildings. Can be converted to military industry if needed. So the idea, the civilian buildings build everything. So they also build your military factories. They also build your refineries, your nuclear reactors. So the more civilian factories you have, I think the more you can produce in terms of all these other stuff. And more provide you equipment. Also, there's the consumer goods you need to provide. So with our current economic policy, the people expect 20% of our total number of factories to produce consumer goods. This needs to be filled by civilian factories only, leaving us with 12 factories where we can be used for trade. So the idea is 20% of whatever we consume is basically for consumables. And there's traded goods as well. So what do we want to do to begin with? So we need some more factories. How are we doing here? So north of Italy is okay. Remember, we've got quite a large area to worry about as well. So we've got all here. Italy's quite focused around Africa, at least. I mean, they're not all the way over here. I mean, United Kingdom, for instance, is all over the damn world. So you've got a lot to focus on. But what I'm going to do in terms of factories, I think I'm going to go for in here and there. And then that'll take that up for now. 3 military factories. So this is production. Now, what are we short on? So if we look at logistics... I'll actually change that around. We need to do some... We've got unassigned divisions, which I'll sort out soon. Training. Right, okay. So we've got 708,000 manpower available. So let's get some training going, shall we? So I'll set a location to Emilia. Yeah, that'll be alright. Emilia Romagna. I want to have 5 divisions simultaneously. So there we go. And I want to create... 10 divisions. So in total this will create 50 divisions over the course of however long it takes. So that's fine. What else we got? So I want some Alpine troops as well. So these are going to be quite good. I'm going to have them in Lombardy. And I'm going to have them to 5, and I'm going to have 2 rows of them. And then we're going to get some tank divisions. So we'll put this down to Tuscany. We'll have just 1 for now. We'll obviously create that for 5. And that should work for now. So what do we need now in logistic terms? So we need 5k, 5.3k in infantry equipment, so that's what we need. We're deficit at the moment. Deficit in artillery, and we're deficit in tanks. So I need to focus on terms of my production and getting everything set up there. So I'm going to have most of my factories working on this. I'm going to have tanks in supply. And we're going to go for some more support equipment, I think. Let's get some artillery. So I just need to bunk these up or motorized as well. I've actually got that at the moment. I'm missing production, aren't I? Yeah, motorized. Oh no, artillery. I don't have any of it. Shit. Let's bring that to the top. Drop that down in the queue. So we'll have it there. So I've got 19 factories at the moment. So we'll drop this down by 2. We'll put you up to there. So I need... Actually, we'll put you back up. So that should be fine. So I just need to get all this equipment. And this bit will be quite boring, unfortunately. Nothing will happen in the first part of the playthrough. You've got a city set up in the game to begin with. So I've got some free dockyards. That's what we've got here. So we've got quite a lot of ships on the build. How many dockyards? We've got 11. So I'll build you up to Battleship 2. What we got here? We'll build a light cruiser. And we'll go for the submarine as well. Let's get 5 of them going. And then I need some insufficient resources. Okay, what do we need? So we need oil. So I can get that from Venezuela. So we can get that when we start off. Rubber. I can get that from Siam, I think. And then we need some chrome. And I'll go from South Africa. There we go. So I think that's it. So we got everything we needed. Oh, hold on. Tungsten. That's the other one we needed, wasn't it? Sweden, you got some tungsten we can use? There we go. So that should actually disappear once we've got it, once they accept the imports. So they're all ready to go. National focus. Okay, so this is the main tree, and this is what I'm on about how the AI will focus on the historical path. So in terms of this, if this Italy was controlled by the AI, they would focus on, there would be a set order where they'd do stuff. So they might go, I don't know what the order is, but they might go Triumph in Africa, and then go down these other ones. So the AI will always choose to go down a certain path. So I think the first thing they do is Ethiopian war logistics, simply because it adds infrastructure, a naval base to Somaliland and Eritrea, just to add that bit of state. So that's what we're going to do. So research that. So then after a while, I'll get some infrastructure in this, here, and here to help out. What else we got? Unassigned divisions. Oh yeah, this is where we need divisions. So we'll have one division here. So let's get them grouped up, and that's one army division, and we'll put you on the front line there. And then we'll have another front line on with... Now, how do I want to look at this? I'll put it here, and then these will run over. Saying that, you might want to be in another one of your own. Put you there. Yeah, because get the mountain troops up there. Have we got any more units around that I can move? Not just yet. I've got a couple of units around. Right, so I've got to wait for more units. I've got quite a few divisions, which is okay, but I'm quite short on terms of mainland Italy for divisions, because I think majority of them are abroad. Let's have a look what we got. So this is going to be my main focus at the moment. We want to take, basically, Ethiopia. So the idea would be that we set these up into a formation, we make a front line onto here, and then we give these actually a commander as well. So, maximum entrenchment. What we got? We got anything good? We ain't got many commanders. Old guard, max entrenchment. We'll use you. What's your name? Sebastino Visconti Prasca. And then on the north end, we'll have another division. So let's get another one, and let's put you down to on this one. Actually saying that, well, let's just take one of you off for now. So I want you to stay there. And then we need to give you, we'll give you a nice commander. So I think this one will be a good one. Rodolfo Grazinia. Grazian? Oh, I don't know. I'm horrible with names. I've never been really good with them. So I think we're more or less set up. Obviously, we've still got some assigned divisions, which is fine. The insufficient resource should disappear. And they've got A-wings with no air mission. Oh, yeah, so we've got to fight over here. So I want to get air superiority. We're going to do interceptions if they've got any. Close air support. Close air support. And then that's it. And then I think I've got planes on this side. No, I haven't. Right, so that's set up there. I've got planes here. So there, oh yeah, so I want to actually do a push after a while. So front line. So this is how you do your fences. So once you set a line, you can do it manually. So you can left click and tell units where to go. So I go these mountain troops go here for me. I could do that, but the idea that you want me to play the game is everything works on fronts. So this is a front line. I can select this here and go offensive line. And I could go, I want you to push and take all these. And then what this will do, as it goes, you can see as it highlights in the checkered red first, it'll go, oh, we'll take them, then them, and then that's how it'll more or less stretch out. So that's the path it'll take. You can change it round, and you can mix-and-match with the lines and stuff, but that's generally how it'll work out. With this, I could do the exact same thing, and I could more or less put the exact same line and push this way. But hopefully what's going to happen is this guy's going to shift across. So these are all, so this guy here, one of these will move across up to here and then block this off, and then we can push. So we push from the north, we'll go down. I think we're okay to go. So is this going to change? We're going to have to wait for the... Ah, there we go. So we've got all the surplus now, which is good. And then these units should move. So we'll put into number 3. And I'll start mixing around with some of the units later on. But for now, I'm okay where I am. Okay, so we're missing some equipment production. So what we're missing? Fighters. Oh, yeah, because we're doing close air support now. So it's... Oh, which one are we missing, though? Because we've got a variant, which makes it a bit more difficult. So we're missing a fighter. It doesn't say which one. Oh, right. We'll get the variant up. We'll bring this up this way. Put it above there. I probably also am going to need... close air support one as well. Hold on, we got close air support. Which is the other one? Is it interwar bomber? I don't even know. Let's have a look. Tactical bomber, that's it. So I'm going to need that in my production queue as well, because I've only got a fighter and close air support. So where's that one? Oh. Got naval bomber, close air support, and interwar fighter, but I don't have a... Is it this one? No. Okay. So we'll see how that pans out. We don't have many of these fighters, though. Tactical bomber. Oh, it's an interwar bomber. Okay, so at least there's that one as well. So let's get some production on that one for then. Scrim you up to there. I ain't got no production from, so when they grade out, it means that you're not producing any. Fortunately, I'm trying to focus on getting my units, and because I'm at war as well, I need to make sure these actually have enough equipment. So I'm going to wait. So you can push straight off the bat if you want to. So you can see here, this guy's ready. So once I do this, they'll push forward. You get these little speech bubbles. So when they're green, it means you're winning. And when they turn red, it means you're losing. So at the moment, we're doing quite well. These guys are still setting up. So it's got this little arrow with the 3 checkered yellow lines, meaning it's not very good. But we're going to hold here for now. So we could push, but it's going to be very difficult to take this territory. And they've actually sent units down this way just to hold. After a bit of time, we should be able to push forward. As you can see, the number is slowly going up. So when you get to 100%, who will actually take this now. Well, this is actually going red, or switching, so it goes backwards and forwards. As you put more units into an area to defend it, it makes it more difficult to take, unless you've got far superior units, which is the little bar down here. So at the moment, my force is a lot stronger compared to theirs, so that's why I'm winning. So we'll take this territory first, push them back, and then we can continue. Yeah, it's going okay. So there's not much else happening at the moment. Again, early games, not much does happen, but we'll see how we go on it. Well, hopefully this is going to be quite a fun playthrough. I mean, I've played quite a bit of Hearts of Iron 4 now for the last 6 months, on and off, and it's a very addictive game. It's quite similar to Civ 6 in a way, being very addictive. You're like, oh, just an extra couple of, another year I'll play through. I'll just wait till I've taken this, and then you realise, oh, actually, crap, this is going to be a bit more difficult. So we've taken this territory now. Now they're spreading out. So we've got guys coming different directions, just to try and cut them on. The idea is you want to encircle troops, and once you encircle them, cut off their supply from their main source, you will actually win them a lot better. So you can see here, this guy's moved here, and now supporting, attacking one of these units, I think. Yes, he's helped support and attack, so pushing them back. And if you look here, we are at war with Ethiopia. The idea is to get their green bar all the way down to, well, basically fill it completely red. So it controls 85% of the world, and we'll capitulate. So once we control a few more, this red bar fills up, we win, and that's how the war ends. So we're doing alright. I want to encircle, to be honest, so if I can, it'd be a good idea if I can push in and take this, and then I'll be able to focus on taking them. Okay, we've got some free dockyards, which is good. We've got 2. Guess that battleship finished, which is okay. So we'll just finish that off. Who are you help support an attack? You're not helping anyone at the moment. So let's try and see if we can take this. If we can take it and encircle this, it'll make it so much easier to finish them off. I think this guy, yeah, he's also helping attack this particular point. And then this guy, I think, is just, yeah, he's out of supply with the little skull there of attrition. Shall I? I could attack with these. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's go forward. Let's try and give some pressure on this front as well. Because you want to see how the AI reacts. When you break through a line, they start to panic and start pulling units off. So you can see there's another unit appeared here. So they've actually either moved it around or pulled one from this side. So there's actually one less. So we want to see if we can push through. So it's not doing too bad at the moment. I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be there. I think the first episode I'm going to do this is going to be quite long, so it might be about 30 minutes. But then I might do something similar as I did with Civilization 6, where I was doing it like 20-minute episodes, roundabout. But an hour-long recording in bulk session, because I don't like going away from something to come back again, because it just makes it a bit more difficult. Hopefully I can beat these guys before this one gets beaten, because there we go, cut them off. So now these guys can't retreat anywhere, so when they get taken, what's going to happen is this guy's going to get wiped out, and there we go. So we've basically wiped out an entire unit, which is absolutely devastating when you lose units, because you cannot replace them as easy. When you lose a full squad, it could be like 10,000 troops, and obviously you only have a certain amount of reserves to use. So as you can see, I've only got 600,000 available manpower as it stands right now. You can change that and up it later down the line with certain national focuses and policies in your government, but it gets to a stage when you start running on fumes. So we are trying to push through. It's a bit difficult, but that's fine. They've actually gone right around the capital, which is a bit annoying, but we're just going to wait for these guys to catch up. But yeah, it's all peaceful in Europe. Nothing's really going on. Again, it's the early stages, so the Rhineland hasn't been remilitarized just yet, but that's one of the focuses they'll go on. So you can see here, Germany's going to go for the Rhineland, which means they'll remilitarize it, and then they'll be able to put units in the demilitarized zone. And I think this is where Adolf Hitler decided to go, I've had enough of you guys telling me what I can do, and he decided to ignore them. And unfortunately for the European nations at the time, they didn't want another war, and they basically let them get away with quite a lot of stuff. So Germany took Czechoslovakia, they also annexed Austria, they basically half-cut Poland in half with Russia, or the USSR by that point. And then that was the last straw. So it took them that long, 3 years before they actually did anything, and then they got drawn into a war, and then they wasn't even ready for it. And then, as you can imagine, all of Europe then got taken over, which is just like, oh, okay. Ooh, hello. This is actually unoccupied, so if I can take this, that might be useful. Again, still trying to push in the south, but that's like maybe a little focus. Ah, there we go. So we've got some logistics. Real militarization of the Rhineland. Cool. Okay, so what do we want to go for next? We can go for industrial effort, army primacy. We've got Mare Nostrum, light ship effort. I think they're the only ones we can do. Italy's tree is quite small compared to some factions. Germany is absolutely massive, and so is United Kingdom's as well. I can go for industrial effort, which gives us it's more stuff in Africa. But I think I'm going to go for army. Oh, hold on. Where's industrial effort? Can we get some in? Yeah, it's Campania. I'm trying to think where these are, to be honest, in terms of, yeah. So I think these are in Africa for now, but I think I'm going to go for Mare Nostrum, which gives us dockyards, which will go well for my naval effort. So we're doing well. We're doing okay. There's the free. I'm expecting someone to move across before long before I can take this, but hopefully we can actually jump across. How far are we in? Yeah, because we've got attrition, it's taken my units a lot longer to move across. Plus, it's mountain terrain, so mountain troops are a lot better at taking this terrain more than anything else. But mountain troops are all over here right now. But if we can take this, it gives us victory points, and I think usually when you lose it, the war's over. So hopefully we can get that quite quickly. Come on. Come on, Italy troops, you can do there. There we go. And there, done. So, at the end of the war, when you've more or less defeated every single, I think it's either a faction leader or you basically conquer what every other nation that's in the war, you get this screen and you basically carve up the territory. Now, I can put it Ethiopia if I want to, or I can take it. And I'm just going to take it. And the blue represents everything that I'm going to take, which would be fantastic. So if I end turn, what that almost means now is I take control of Ethiopia, I hit done, and then we get, so it goes, we take one state, Ethiopia was annexed, meaning it's no longer existent, and then we also get any equipment they had left over. Which is good. Now the war's finished with. Now the idea is you want to leave as a few troops lying around in some of your territories as possible, so I want to leave some of these units, so let's just drop one of these guys down. So I'll put you, and I'm going to put you in the dock area just to handle there, and then every other troop I'm going to pull off and bring up here. Oh, we're also now insufficient resources. What are we missing? Oil. Yeah, I should have guessed really. Let's go. Mexico, can you give me something? I need some oil off you. Yeah, good Mexico. Now the war's over with, we're at peace. It means I can focus on some other stuff. And the cool thing is when you're not at war, your logistics actually does drop down, because if you think about when you're at war, you're using your equipment, you're having to replace the equipment you're using. So at the moment I'm a bit of a deficit. But actually we're doing well on motorised now, so I've got enough motorised equipment so I can actually drop that off in terms of everything else. So let's knock that down and let's get some of the planes and that replaced. Just what we used. I wish I could actually get rid of this entirely, but for some reason it's not the case. No, it's weird. You can click to have some build, but you can't get rid of it. I mean, if I got rid of it, it'll be okay, but then it'll go, you're missing some important research queue. So I'm going to get all these guys to come up here. I'm going to leave a unit here, so I'm going to leave a division here and a division down here, and then the rest of these are I'm going to pull back to mainland Italy. For my defense, really, at the moment. I don't really need them here, but I guess the idea is like, what's my next steps on what do I want to do? So I could go for Yugoslavia, which is a focus. I could go for France straight away. I mean, I could try focus on taking Africa, but then that would worrying about France and also the United Kingdom. So it's a big question on what to do, really. But I'm going to bring my units back and we'll go from there. But I think that's a good time just to end it on for now. So this has been a first look at me playing as Italy in Hearts of Iron 4. If you have enjoyed, again, a like is much appreciated, as always. If you have any hints or tips on any general stuff like that, please leave in the comments down below. I always appreciate someone just giving me suggestions on what to do next. Or where to play better, or even explaining certain characteristics about a game, or how to, or certain bits and bits and pieces about it, because it's always the one where I'm not always 100% accurate on what's the best play, or what's the best strategy to use in some circumstance. So it'd be kind of cool to see what you guys think. But as always, all I'm going to say is thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to help support my channel, then hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell icon and check the little mark which says send me all notifications for this channel to keep up to date on everything that I do. Follow me on Twitter and player.me, and finally leave a comment below.